And even at a very short amount of time, we've been able to generate almost $2 million in pipeline. For us, that's first year value, which before would have not been a more reliable, repeatable practice. In the past, we have used several data enrichment providers, and at the end of the day, they do one thing. They reference our database internally, the CRM, and provide additional contacts or update them. And that's great. That served its purpose at the time. RingLead certainly has that capability to enrich our database for both leads, contacts, and accounts. However, we're able to do so much more with RingLead's orchestration tool. We can cleanse our database, we can deduplicate, we can segment and normalize our data based on whatever we find important in terms of addressing our total addressable market. And we've really been able to leverage all of the functions that RingLead provides to create the optimal Salesforce data experience. And that has really helped advance our goals a lot quicker than what we had ever initially intended. Before we partnered with RingLead, essentially what we had to do was export all of these massive data sets, combine them manually in Excel through VLOOKUP, and then apply our manually created formulas in Excel to create our propensity model. What RingLead allowed us to do is to combine all of those disparate data sets that were in individual Excel files into one consistent database. So we could take all of the inputs that go into our propensity model and apply that directly and systematically into Salesforce. So what RingLead allowed us to do is to do some normalization and segmentation based on job title. So we were able to go through and analyze all of the job titles for contacts and leads that we had in the system and normalize those into categories based on decision makers that we find important and that would be helpful to market to. So what we have now is the ability to identify the exact people that we want to attend our webinars, attend our events, read our case studies. And through content syndication efforts, we have a higher level of probability to ensure that we have decision makers that are looking at that content or engaging with us from a marketing perspective and converting those to opportunities for our sales team. So since we've implemented the ideal customer profile or the propensity model via RingLead, we've really been able to prioritize those lists of named accounts so that, again, sales reps are focused where they are most likely to be successful. From a demand gen perspective, we've been also able to go through and identify for which of those prioritized accounts we have the right contact data. And we have partnered with our sales development team, or SDRs, to really focus all of their calling efforts based on that ideal customer profile. And even at a very short amount of time, we've been able to generate almost $2 million in pipeline. For us, that's first year value, which before would have not been a more reliable, repeatable practice. Watermark is backed by a really great private equity investor, TCV. And as with all TCV portfolio companies, we do have high growth expectations, which is really great for a thriving organization. So what RingLead has enabled us to do is, one, better identify our total addressable market and break that market down by reliable demographics in our ideal customer profile. But it's also allowed us to ensure that we are culling together the right contacts, the right folks, so that we can align sales and marketing efforts to meet those very demanding growth goals.